Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. Hi, everybody. How are you all doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everything in your life is going amazing. Right off the bat, I just want to give you guys an apology for not getting the love readings out for May 2018. Had some family come in from out of town, just threw my schedule completely out of the window. Had some things I had to take care of at home, work full time, so just absolutely did not have the time to get these readings done, but we're here now and we're going to do them for the first half of June 2018. Yay! The program or the method is still the same. We're going to use the Zodiac Oracle deck as the anchoring energy for each sign. You're going to have your own card there present, and you'll either get assigned to you the Happy Tarot deck, the Santa Muerte deck, or the Housewives Tarot deck. And we're going to do a reading. 3 on this side will be your energy, 3 on this side will be the partner or potential partner's energy, and we're going to read them all together at once and see what we get out of that. Go ahead and look in the description box below. You'll see the timestamp, so you can go ahead and jump straight to your reading if you don't want to chat, if you don't want to hear the chat, if you don't want to hear the shuffling, if you don't want to hear me yammer on and on and on about nothing. Go ahead and click that time or drag the timer bar across and you'll get there. Also down there, you're going to find information on how to go about getting a private reading with me. You can go ahead and send me emails at, or send me an email at, not many, just one, email at empathicfire82@gmail.com. You'll tell me what's going on. You'll ask the questions. I'll send you an email back on when you can expect your reading. And once the payment is received via PayPal, then I'll go ahead and upload your video privately through YouTube, and that will be provided to you directly through your email. Nobody else will see it. It's all confidential. It's all above board. Yay, yay, yay. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your love readings for the first half of June, starting with the fire signs, going into the earth signs, air signs, and then, of course, ending with the water signs. Sorry, water signs. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the readings, guys. Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire Air Signs. This is your love reading for the first half of June 2018. Like you heard in the intro, I need to apologize for this coming out so late and missing your love readings for the month of May. Just a lot of stuff happened, and the lateness is due to me getting really, really sick soon after my relatives were in from out of town. So it really knocked my schedule back significantly, but here we are, and we're going to get on with this thing, all right? So, Gemini, you got the Santa Muerte deck. Libra, you got the Housewives Tarot deck. And Aquarius, you got the Happy deck. Like always, we start with the first sign within the elements. So, Gemini, you're up first. So, Libra and Aquarius, please excuse us. We'll see you guys in a bit. And Libra and Aquarius, if you're just here for yourselves and you don't care what the hell is going to happen with the other two, just go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamp. Hello, Gemini. This is going to be your reading. I'm going to place you down in the middle there. Hope everything's going well for you guys. Hope all is just amazing in your lives right now. And if you're a first-time viewer, what I do here is 3 cards on this side for you, 3 cards on this side for your partner or potential partner. And each position has a particular energy that I'd like to connect with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get reestablished with your energy. And then I'm going to shuffle the cards, and once all cards are laid out, I'm going to read your deck, okay? Read your deck, read your spread, okay? All right, Gemini, first half of June 2018, love lives. Okay, good. It was easy to get connected with you, both before when I meditated and just now, so that's good. All right, Gemini, first card out is going to be who you are right now at this point in the relationship. What stage you might be at in your relationship or in your life. What your current mindset might be, your current status, or how you're identifying. And just general feelings towards yourself or how you're viewing yourself right now in this first half of June. Side, please. One second, hold on. That wasn't clear. Which way, please? That's right. That's what I... Okay. It's just... Anyway, second card, Gemini, is going to be how you view your connection right now, how you view the other person you might be connected with, who you might be dating, who you might be married to, whatever your status is. or just how you see yourselves together as a unit in this first half of June 2018. Oh, and it's June, so happy birthday, Gemini. I apologize for not saying so at the beginning, but I was just like, whose birthday is it? It's June. Oh, yeah, that's Gemini. So happy birthday, guys. A lot of flying cards today. Come here. Come here. There you go. Came as a sidewinder. Which way, please? Thank you. And the third card, Gemini, is going to be what you're hoping for or wishing for, desiring in the future of this relationship. What might be a goal that you have in mind, what are your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, or just what might be the next step in this relationship for you, Gemini. Might be some advice for you in the future, or even a warning for the future of this relationship, Gemini. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. Come here, because you got two, but one went away. Way away. There it is. And it was like that, so you've got two. Ba-doom, ba-doom. Alright. And on their side of things, Gemini, their first card is going to be how they're viewing themselves in this relationship right now. What they might be feeling, what they might be thinking, current status that they have going on, maybe something that they're dealing with in their lives, or just how they're feeling about themselves, what they might be thinking about themselves. Come on. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I was going to say, Sidewinder card, which way, please? Thank you. Alright. Second card, Gemini in their position is going to be how they feel about you, what they're, excuse me, what they're thinking about you, how they're viewing your guys' connection right now, how they view you guys as a unit, etc., in the second position. And third card, Gemini, is their hopes, their dreams, their wishes, their hopes, their dreams, their wishes, what they might be desiring for the future of this relationship, what might they be hoping for, things like this, or what might be their next best advice. And there you go. No bottom of the deck in these general love readings. You are the overall energy in the reading, Gemini. Let me go ahead and flip these other two cards. And we're going to see what we see here. And of course we have the pink quartz there, our elephant, Ellie. She's here to give us a little extra boost in the love department. Alright. Okay. Alright, Gemini. So coming into the first half of June, you see yourself as the Four of Wands. And I apologize if I'm clearing my throat a lot. I have some remnant sickness, some remnant cold. But anyway, so you're feeling pretty steady, Gemini. You're feeling pretty in control of things. I see you, even though this isn't a Pentacles card, on the card, it's sort of like the figure looks like there is working at, or perhaps the owner of like a flower stand, a flower shop or whatever. And there's just like this feeling of like business here, and being focused in your business, or focused on your work, or focused on a hobby, because Wands can deal with your, Wands deals with your passions, and that can translate into things that you're passionate about, things that captivate your interests. And so either Gemini right now, you're really focused on your work, or you're focused on your hobby, or whatever it is, you're focused on things that make you feel fulfilled. Now, different than the Rider-Waite interpretation of the Four of Wands, is this is about, in the Rider-Waite, it would be about establishing happy families, establishing foundations, kind of moving towards that, or, you know, solidifying plans for that, or just having that in mind. And that might be true here. I'm not saying that that doesn't exist here, that that's not on some of your minds, but I think for some of you, you're more interested in being fulfilled singularly, like as an individual. Like you want to feel engaged and empowered and intrigued by the world, or intrigued and super interested in the things that you're doing for the satisfaction of yourself. There's a lot of self-satisfaction in this card. Excuse me. And I think that for some of you, it's like a healing process right now. Like, I get the feeling like there's something going on in your personal life or within your family dynamic, whether this involves your partner or not, because some of you might be married to your partner, dating them seriously, whatever it is, heavily committed, and they are considered a part of your family. Others, this might be dating and they're not considered part of your family, but however it comes out, I feel like some of you have a family situation where it's a little draining, or it's a little taxing, or it requires a lot of your energy, and so you're trying to find avenues and ways to fulfill yourself, or be re-energized, to be engaged, I think is what I said a few seconds ago. I really don't remember, but something external to both your partner and, or your family is where your attention is. And again, it could be something business-like, because I feel like this is like, it looks like a stall. It looks like she's selling these flowers. There's a chest right there. There's all these flowers out there for sale. So some of you, this is like business. You know, you're working extra hours at work, or you're embarking on a new project at work. You got a new job, maybe, whatever it is. And that's really got your attention right now. And you're feeling happy to do it. Like you feel accomplished. I think that, okay, thank you. So at work, and or with this hobby, this thing that has your interest, you feel like you're able to accomplish something there. You feel like you want to make strides there. You want to improve yourself, and you're able to mark your improvement, to mark your gains, to mark your strides towards a certain goal. You feel effective there, and either with this partner and or at home with the family, you feel less empowered, less effective, less impactful, like things aren't changing because of your input. There's some feeling of there's a situation external to this relationship for the most part. For most of you, it's very external from this connection, but there's something in your life where you're feeling like, God, I can't make headway with this thing. I can't make a dent in this thing. Some of you are facing like this really huge, colossal, very trying situation, or a person. If it's not a situation, it's a person, and you just can't move the sticks. You can't make any type of gains towards betterment or improvement or change, and that's frustrating. So instead of sitting in your frustration, you're funneling your need or your desire to be effective, to be able to enact change into your work or into a hobby right now. So, it's like not really involving this person, I don't think, okay? Excuse me. How are you viewing your partner right now in the first half of June? You're viewing them as the Page of Wands. That's nice, isn't it? kind of a cute way of looking at the Page of Wands. Let me see. And it's carrying a scroll and not an actual wand, so that's interesting. Okay, so some of you might have partners, since this one's carrying a scroll. Some of them... That sounded really loud, that music, I'm sorry. Some of you might have partners who are in school, going back to school, just graduated since it is June. 1 second. Okay. I don't want to cough in your guys' ears, so every time that comes up, I'm going to have to pause. But Some of you have a partner who is like freshly newly like enrolling in school, or just graduated from school, or they're thinking about going to school. But there's like this feeling that you're seeing your partner as somebody who has like a lot of dreams and desires. Like, you know, this figure sitting on the swing and kind of contemplating their life, contemplating what's next, contemplating what gives them joy, what makes them happy, etc., etc. And the pages are messengers. They don't move as fast as the knights. They move quite slower than the knights do. But this page in particular, unlike other pages in many other decks, is actually seated. So this is a very contemplative state your partner is in right now. Very reflective, very analytical, or trying to understand and figure out what's going on in the next phase of life. Planning. Pages definitely are messengers, but they also plan. They also kind of try to map out a course. And your partner, because you've got two wands here, so that can signals to fire signs, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So maybe some of you have partners of those signs, but not necessarily. But regardless, there's this energy in these two cards of like, what's next? How do we move forward? How do we progress? How do we level up, so to speak? Or how do we change direction but not completely derail this train? You know, there's this need to figure out what's going on in the future. Four of Wands, traditional interpretation of that, in which I do feel it here as well, is future oriented. It's thinking about the path forward, what's going on in the next 10 years, 20 years, 15, 18, you know, 50 years, who knows? And the Page of Wands is definitely future oriented, because the Page of Wands doesn't want to move towards anything that's a false start, doesn't want to move towards anything that isn't fulfilling, isn't exciting, isn't dynamic, isn't going to enrich their lives. So, but at the same time, the Page of Wands can be impulsive, it can be naive. The Page of Wands can act as if just having the desire to go after something is enough of a plan, and it's really not. So some of you might have a partner who's a little naive, a little impulsive, a little, you know, act first, ask questions later kind of a way of approaching life. But there's a love here, like between how, even though it's not directly connected, because again, this is more focused on yourself here, the Four of Wands, in your workplace, in your hobbies, in other things that grab your interest. And this is definitely related to someone else. But there's still like this bond here. There's a bond going on. But like, it's not playing into each other, if that makes sense. Like, there's a bond. You love them, or you care about them, or you feel connected to them, whatever. And they feel that for you, at least on your side of things, from your perspective. But at the same time, this Four of Wands is yours completely, and the Page of Wands is them completely, meaning your way of looking at the future and their way of looking at the future, or trying to get to that next phase or that next step in your lives is different. Like, you're thinking about it differently, or separately. You're thinking about it separately. Here's what I think, here's what you think. And you really haven't brought your ideas together, or your ideas don't necessarily mesh, or you know that for some reason your ideas have to be separate. I hope that makes sense. It's a little weird. And okay. So maybe that makes sense because of what's coming up next. So in the future of this relationship, Gemini, what you might be hoping or wishing for is you have the Two of Pentacles and you have the Tower card. Hope you can see that. And again, this is the Santa Muerte deck, which I love. But, so Two of Pentacles is interesting because in the traditional Rider-Waite, it's just a guy and he's balancing two pentacles in his hands. He's kind of doing like a juggling act. So it's usually a card associated with that act of juggling. But in this deck, there are two figures depicted, and they're staring at each other's eyes, and one is offering up a stone, right here, and the other is taking it. And I get the feeling that someone in this relationship, because this is about the future, what you might be hoping for, wishing for, or just might be advice for you, or what's coming, someone is offering someone else an object. Not an object, but something. You know, it could be an idea, advice, an actual object, an actual thing of possession, money, since we're talking about Pentacles, time, because Pentacles deals with time, whatever. But something of value, so that's the bottom line, because Pentacles deals with things that we place value on. So something of value is offered from one person to another. And it's a real, like, significant offer. It's very heartfelt, as you can see, because these two are meeting eye to eye. So there's like this agreement. There's like this, I see your point of view. You see my point of view. I see where you're coming from. You see where I'm coming from. And it's an exchange. It's an exchanging in energy or offer, but it's also like sacrificial for somebody. Like somebody is giving something of value that they don't have to, or that once they give it, they can't take it back. And it's kind of a forever thing. Like if you do this, or if you give me this, it's going to be forever. Or if I give it to you, it's going to be forever. So I don't know. It's very vague. I'm going to say that, and obviously because of how I'm describing it. But it's not coming across as somebody's going to give you a car. Like they're Oprah. You get a car. You know, it's not like that. I'm not seeing it as, it can be for some of you an actual physical object, things that have value and possession in terms of money. For others of you, it could just be money. For others of you, it could be the offer of a job, or, not a job, I'm sorry, of time, or like time away. So maybe like a vacation or something like that. Whatever it is, it's heartfelt. It's from one person to another. It's in a you and me kind of conversation. Nobody else is involved. Nobody else is really not understanding, but they're not privy to this exchange or this offer that I'm going to give you. It's very significant. Excuse me. And it's nothing to be taken lightly. I'm going to say that. It's significant. The offer is not something to be taken lightly, or the thing that is being offered is not something to be taken lightly. It asks a lot of both people, both the person who is offering it and the person who will receive it or has the potential to receive it. It's a big deal. Big deal. 1 second. All right, Gemini. So yeah, it's a big deal, whatever is being offered to you, or you might be offering it to someone else. For the majority of you, I feel it's an offer that comes to you, Gemini. I think it's something, it could be from your partner, it could be from someone external to this situation, but I feel like it's mostly from your partner, and it's coming towards you. You're not giving it towards them. They're giving it towards you, and it's a big deal. Like, it's going to make you feel possibly uncomfortable, not at ease at all. You're going to feel not excuse me, not obligated, but you're going to feel like there's no turning back. Once this offer is made, and or once I accept it, it changes everything. And what that offer is, again, I'm not really sure, but whatever it is, it means a lot. It has a lot of value. Whether it's monetary value, whether it's value in terms of morality or sensibilities, or value in terms of time and effort, I don't know. But it's pretty heavy. For a Two of Pentacles, this is very heavy, the energy that's attached to it. And the card that came out alongside it is the Tower. So, of course, in traditional tarot, and if you're someone who's familiar with tarot, the Tower card really scares the bejeebus out of a lot of people. It's a card that traditionally talks about destruction, talks about the bringing down of a structure, of long-standing situation that had a faulty foundation. And for some of you, that might be what's going on. That might actually happen for some of you. But I feel this is more of just change, drastic change, which is indicative in the traditional interpretation of this card in traditional Rider-Waite decks. But here, I feel it's just more significant change that once it happens, once it starts, once that ball starts rolling, it's not going to stop. And it's not necessarily destructive. Because in this deck, again, I never look anything up. I say I'm going to look it up. I say I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to figure that out, and I never do. But in this deck, right, the Tower card, it's come out a few times. I don't think it's ever come out for you, Gemini. It mimics those paintings or those drawings by a certain artist where a staircase starts at one point and then ends up here, and once you travel along that staircase, the perspective changes and you can't tell which way is up. So there's this feeling of disorientation in this particular Tower card. Tower card, right? And I feel that's kind of what's going to happen for you on your end of things. This offer, this huge change, this thing that's going to be offered to you, that's of value, is going to disorient you. The offer is going to sort of catch you unawares or come out of left field, and you're going to be like, what does that mean? Why are you offering this to me? What does that mean? If I accept this offer, what's going to change? There's a lot of I don't know what's going on here. I feel in the Tower card for you, Gemini, there's a lot of I didn't expect this, I didn't see this coming, or now that it's actually here, where some of you may have had a sneaking suspicion. Now that it's here, some of you are going to be like, holy crap. I had no idea that this was actually going to happen. It's kind of going to throw things into a tizzy for you coming down the line, Gemini. Very interesting with those two future cards. So, for lack of a better word, a lot of your energy, Gemini, which kind of fits your personality, is compartmentalized, right? You have this thing that you're dealing with yourself, this way that you're viewing yourself, you recognize in yourself, hey, I'm just focused on my money right now, or my business, or I'm focused on getting ahead at my job, or I'm focused on really getting in touch with the things, creative things that give me joy. You recognize that your partner's sort of contemplating things on their end, and then there's this interesting thing in the future for you that some of you are kind of guessing at, some of you have feelings, it might go this way or that, and all three of those are your energies. I don't feel that it's coming from them. I don't feel much of an influence from your partner or anyone else. It's just they're each very separate. And I don't know if you've seen your love readings that I did for you in April, or just how I do my tarot readings at all. A lot of energy can blend, but yours is it's you, but it's like three different distinct parts of yourself, or areas in your life, so to speak, okay? On their side of things, Gemini, how are they viewing themselves coming into the first half of June? They view themselves as the Hermit in reverse. Show you this card upright so you become familiar with it. Now, oh God, 1 second. All right, Gemini, I apologize. I want to get these done. I'm still just a little bit sick, but I have to get these done. Now, the Hermit in reverse. So, Hermit talks about not needing, but being on a spiritual journey when he's in the upright. He's on a journey where he's trying to understand himself, understand a certain situation or circumstance in his life that has or had a significant impact. And it requires a lot of introspection. When it's in reverse, either that's not happening, or it just ended, or there's a refusal to do it, right? And I feel that for some of your partners, they did it, they got something out of it, but now they're going to come out of that energy. For a good portion of your partners, Gemini, there's this feeling on this card that I get of like helplessness and hopelessness, okay? So there might be a need to kind of get in touch with the self, understand your own, I'm going to say you, but I'm going to be speaking towards your partner now, where they need to understand their motivations, their involvement, their impact, all of those things, and how they kind of fit in the puzzle. You know, what puzzle pieces in their life belong to them, so to speak. Like, what are they contributing to the entire puzzle of their life? It's a very big sort of existential feeling to this. And I feel like some of them are having a disconnect with that. Like, they realize, like, I should try to understand what's going on in my life or what's going on in this particular situation, but I don't want to do that. Or I don't have the time to do that. Or I don't have the motivation or even the understanding of how to approach it. Like, some of them are not sure, like, they know that they want to get into a hermit type phase where they get a greater understanding about themselves or their situation, but they just don't know how to approach it. Now, and this is just, it's an example, so I'm not going to limit it to this being all of your situations, but I've been guided to say, like, that's a traditionally very, quote unquote, mannish way, or a male type way of thinking about things, where I think if traditionally or like when it comes to men, where some of you have partners that are male, if not, well, the majority, since I know most people who watch these readings are female, right? So the majority of you are likely in relationships with men. It is traditional or very likely that your partner exudes a certain behaviors that are traditionally associated with men or maleness. So what does that mean? Men are typically not, quote unquote, in touch with their feelings. Men traditionally don't seek help when it comes to their mental and or emotional states. Traditionally, men don't get into practices of meditation and yoga or therapy or anything that kind of, you know, takes a more reflective and receptive position. Men are usually traditionally understood to be action-oriented, the ones that initiate change, the ones that initiate any type of, like, they make more I know statements, I think, you know, all that kind of stuff. I think, I know, you know, they're more, for lack of a better word, more aggressive. The Hermit is not an aggressive card. The Hermit is not an initiating card. It's not a card of action. It's a card of inaction. It's a card of pausing. It's a card of slowing down and reflecting. And if many of your partners are male and they are, quote unquote, traditional males, you know, however you or society wants to define traditional males, or how we typically understand maleness in our societies, that would fit here. That they don't know how to get to this stage. That's why it's in the reverse. Okay? So I was led to go on a big diatribe about that. So some of you are sort of dealing with partners that are male, that are, quote unquote, typical guys, or if you're British, typical bloke. Okay? And a man's man. Okay? Some of you have partners that are man's men, or a man's man. There you go. And they just don't know what it means to try to be like this. And that's what they need. Okay? So some of it, regardless of how your partner is, male or female, whatever, your partner is in need of getting into this hermit phase. Some of them have done it and they're coming out of it. That's why it's in reverse. But for the majority, that's what they need. And they realize that, since this is how they view themselves, they realize that they just don't know how to do it. They really don't know how to do it. And I'm not sure that you have any effect on that. Meaning, they may express to you, or you may recognize that in them, hey, I don't know how to meditate, or maybe I need to go see a therapist. Maybe they've said that to you, maybe you've suggested it to them, but that's as far as it goes. It's just a statement of fact that there's something I need to do, but I don't know how to do it. And I don't get the sense that it's in your privy or in your jurisdiction, so to speak, to even suggest anything other than, I hear what you said. Like, to acknowledge that that's what's going on with them. Again, that might seem a little shady. Like, oh, of course, why wouldn't I support my partner? You are supporting them, but I don't think that you can make them do anything. If they're not going to do it, if they don't know how to do it, you can't, like, take them along. They have to figure it out on their own, is what I'm feeling there. Okay? Interesting. How are they viewing you in this first half of June, Gemini? They're viewing you as the Ten of Cups in reverse. Interesting. Show it to you upright so you can get accustomed to it in this deck. And the Ten of Cups in reverse traditionally would talk about, like, sort of like, the first word I got, or the first phrase I got was a false promise, and that might apply for some of you. But what I'm really feeling is, like, it's not that they view you as the Ten of Cups. This is more of how they view you guys as a unit, which can happen in this position. It's not just how they view you, it's also how they view the unit, you two as a partnership. So I'm getting it's more like there's a false promise in your guys' relationship. They feel like they let you down. They feel as if they shortcomings, like they are shortcomings, or their shortcomings have affected your relationship. Just, it's not everything that it was cracked up to be. And not in that sense of, like, it's a letdown, more of like it wasn't enough. I couldn't give enough. We couldn't get to a certain stage in the relationship. We couldn't move past a certain circumstance in the situation or in our relationship. There's like a, pardon me, excuse me. There's like a stopgap. Is that the right use of that? I'm not sure. There's like this, one sec. Okay, Gemini, I apologize. Yeah, so this Ten of Cups in reverse feels like there's an inability to move past something, to progress further, or to fulfill a certain, not obligation, but there's like a feeling of like a dream or a promise, better than a dream, a promise. Because I'm like, who fulfills dreams around here? Like, that's kind of a tall order, but fulfilling promises is a little more feasible here. And I feel like they feel that's kind of their issue. Like, they're not able to fulfill their promises to you. They're not able to hold up their end of things, whatever your agreements are, whatever, even in the day-to-day, if we're talking about, paying certain bills or taking care of certain things around the house, they're just not able to do it. And that's what you both wanted. You both were like, yeah, and we're going to live together, or we're going to get married, or within this marriage, we're going to have certain duties or promises that we make to each other, and we're just going to fulfill it. And I think for the majority of you, you were able to do that. This is this feels like a semi-recent development. Like, not overnight, okay? What I'm saying to you isn't news. It's not shocking. It's not anything you haven't experienced yet or that you don't recognize. It's just maybe you didn't recognize, or maybe you don't recognize how deeply responsible they feel towards this energy, or how much they recognize how whatever's going on with them, very personal to them, it really affects them strongly. It's really not fulfilling a promise, and they don't like that. Like, they're sad about it. They're not proud of it. There's considerable anguish for some of them, depression for many, and just feeling like I said, helpless and hopeless. Maybe I said that down here or over there, but I think I said it here with the Hermit. Helpless and hopeless, absolutely. They're not proud. They're not. They're just kind of like shrugging their shoulders, shaking their head, giving you the, I don't know, like the, I don't know what I can do. I don't know what I can tell you. I don't know what I can do to change this situation. Okay? What's going on in the future on their end of things is the Devil card. What they might be hoping, wishing, and dreaming for, or what might be the next best step, or what might be the advice for them. And like I said, it's the Devil card. Now again, you've got two big major arcanas here in the future, which is very interesting. two of the major arcanas, two of probably the three major arcanas, or maybe even four major arcanas, that give people like a, oh no, kind of feeling. So the devil is definitely one of those, oh no. And in this case, it's not an oh no. Okay. In the future, they want to, this is coming in two ways. One, very traditional or more aligned to the traditional understanding of this card is many of them want to regain control, regain agency is a word that came out. So some of them, for some reason, or somehow have lost their own agency. Meaning, one second. Okay, Gemini. Agency. So meaning some of them have lost their independence in a way, and not just necessarily independence. Some of them have lost an ability to choose, to exert and assert their own will. Okay? That's what agency is, your own will and determination, your own ability to act as an independent person. Okay? Okay. All right. So some of them are in a situation or have a condition. Okay. Thank you. Okay. This is getting heavy, and of course it's getting heavy on the devil card. All right, Gemini. So for some of your partners, they have a situation, a circumstance, and or a condition that has taken away their agency, taken away their ability to act independently, to act with agency, with their own will and determination. For some of your partners, they can't make their own decisions for themselves anymore. That is current, or that is what's next. Okay? The reason for that, you know, or you will soon know, or you understand by the time you see this video. Okay? And they want to have their power back. They won't. They want their agency. They want their independence. They want to be able to act of their own accord, and they can't. Okay? For others, in the future, this devil card is meaning they don't want to have a negative, Lord, how can I say this? They don't want to have a bad impact, a bad legacy. Okay? They don't want their lasting impression on this relationship to be a negative one. And I feel like that's kind of like, they don't want to be seen as like a bad person, like they were the downfall of your relationship, or they were the downfall of you, or that they had a certain negative influence over you, or negative influence or impact on the relationship. This is okay, I'm gonna stop because it's feeling very not cool for me. Yeah. Okay, all right. I'm gonna stop because that just got a little heavy in a way that I've never experienced before, and it's a little weird. So, okay, yeah. Thank you, Gemini, for viewing your love and relationship reading up until this point. If you liked what you saw, react to the video as you see fit. You can leave comments. You can do whatever you want. I do appreciate you. And I will come back in another 2 weeks and I'll do this video for you again. And now I'm just going to clear the deck, or excuse me, clear the board, and I'm going to move on to do Libra's reading.